Alrighty, everybody. Today is the day. This freaking guy better be resigning because I just woke up for this. He just woke up the entire nation. Every news company in Canada is all saying the same thing. Trudeau is to announce that he's going to resign. So here we are, early morning for me, 7:30, 10:30 for the rest of everybody who's in somewhere that matters, but 7:30 for me. And Justin Trudeau is scheduled to resign. Holy crap. It's actually happening. Hope you guys are ready. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage you all to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet already. It does really help grow the channel. This is the day. This is the day we've all been waiting for. This is the day we have all been waiting for. Let's get some W's in the chat. I haven't had coffee. I'm in my fifth wheel. I don't have a way of getting coffee right now, so I'm very on edge. I'm very on edge. And if this guy pisses me off, I'm going to flip out. I've got water. My family's sleeping, so I have to be really quiet or else I have to deal with kids that are going to be crying at 7:30 in the morning. So this motherfucker better be resigning. Okay? I'm just saying, you better be resigning. Get some W's in the chat. Hit the like on the stream. And let's see what the heck we're dealing with, shall we? Let's get into this stuff. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good year. Wow, Trudeau's resigning. Look at that. Trudeau is resigning. Here we go. Let's take a little look-see-poo, shall we?
Presentation.
Oh, they're doing a special presentation.
Hello there, I'm Rosemary Barton here in Ottawa, where we are awaiting in 15 minutes' time the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, to speak to Canadians for the first time at length since his leadership has been thrown into crisis. And indeed, today he will confirm in 15 minutes' time that he is leaving his position as Liberal leader. That will not happen quickly. He has also this morning, we can confirm, requested and been granted prorogation of Parliament until March 24th, which means that Parliament will be on pause as the Liberal Party moves to choose a leader to replace Justin Trudeau, who has been leader since 2013 and Prime Minister for the past 9 years. It has been a dramatic number of weeks in Canadian politics. The past couple of weeks, Justin Trudeau has been reflecting on his future, and today he will tell Canadians what many in his own caucus were hoping, and that is that he will step aside as leader. Aaron Wherry is a senior writer here at CBC News, and he joins me now. He's also author of the book about Justin Trudeau and power called Promise in Peril that I did pull off my bookshelf yesterday, Aaron, when I knew we'd be talking about some of this stuff. Maybe let's just take a moment to think about sort of how we got here, I guess, and the fact that we did very much reach, I think, a tipping point over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think arguably that tipping point may have arrived as much as 6 months ago when the Liberals lost that by-election in Toronto, St. Paul's. I think that was probably the first real indication that a change was necessary, and Justin Trudeau's leadership was maybe in very serious trouble, and the wisdom of him moving forward and leading the party into another election was very much in doubt. But the real kind of crisis point, I guess, after sort of kind of building problems for the Prime Minister over the last 6 months, was Chrystia Freeland's resignation on the day of the fall economic statement. 2 weeks ago, or well, 3 weeks ago now, I think that really kind of precipitated the moment that we're at right now that made his position completely untenable. He obviously didn't resign right there and then, and I think up until maybe even this weekend, it was possible to wonder whether he was going to try to stick this out even further, given his, I don't know whether you want to call it stubbornness or willingness to sort of soldier on. But the moves by Liberal MPs over the Christmas break, you saw different regional caucuses, the Ontario caucus, the Quebec caucus, the Atlantic caucus, writing to the Prime Minister to say that they believed he should resign and there should be a new leader in place. I think that really, pushed this to a point where there really was no path forward for Justin Trudeau. he may have been able to hang on for as long as he could because caucus wasn't willing to force the issue. But once caucus had come out and basically said, we don't support you, at that point, it becomes very hard for a leader or a prime minister to carry on.
As I was rereading parts of your book and other things yesterday, I was thinking back to when Justin Trudeau decided he wanted to be...
We're going to switch from CBC. We're going to take a look at what CTV's saying. Guys, this is happening. Trudeau's resigning, but he's going to just stick it to the country one last time with a big FU at Prorogation, right? Like, this is unbelievable. Typical Trudeau to do this. Typical Trudeau, of course. Of course. Why wouldn't he do this? Why wouldn't he do this? Let's see what Vashti's got to say.
Those three provinces represent about 131 seats of the Liberals' 153 seats. So there has been this tide really going against the Prime Minister now for several weeks. We know that he said before the holidays that he would take these 2 weeks to decide on his political future. We know that he finally has made that decision, and we'll be hearing what that decision is. We know, though, already that he will be resigning in about 10 minutes' time. But the question is, you know, will that be enough to quell an angry caucus on Wednesday when he meets with them?
Well, I think you raise a good point. I don't know if that meeting actually might be scrapped or changed now that this news has come out. It was announced late last week when essentially the caucus chairs had conveyed to his office that the majority of them did want to see him step aside. So it was convened rather before this announcement was made. Caucus is also meeting this afternoon to be briefed on the leadership race plan, so that at about 2 o'clock Eastern, so not even 4 hours from now. So I'm not sure exactly what that conversation will look like. I think it will depend on the rules that the party establishes for who will replace the prime minister. I do think, though, you've identified the key pressure point between the caucus and the prime minister, and that is his desire to stay on in the interim while the race ensues to replace him. I will be very curious to see what the caucus reaction to that is, just because they have conveyed to us, both publicly and behind closed doors, a real sense that it is him that is dragging their brand down. I don't think that's necessary. You know, objectively, I think we can talk about a lot of things that have dragged the Liberal brand down over the last year and a half. But they really feel that the Prime Minister, and Nick Nanos talked about this as well, is a huge part of it. So I'm not sure, and we'll certainly be interviewing those MPs throughout the afternoon, the degree to which they're going to endorse the idea that he stick around for another few months as the face of their party, if an election is as imminent as it seems, aka as early as April. So I think that is something that's going to be interesting to hear from not only MPs, but how does the Prime Minister frame it? How exactly does he present it when he makes those comments in less than 10 minutes?
And he may frame it by saying, look, you know, you have an inauguration happening in the United States in about 14 days' time on January 20th, that he feels
Trudeau's
that he is
getting
the
Joe
best
Biden
person to lead the party as the new incoming president is officially sworn into office on January 20th. We'll see what he has to say. I'm going to ask you to stand by. Let's go right now to Judy Trinh, who is standing by at Rideau Cottage. And certainly, Judy, this is a consequential day in Canadian politics.
Omar, this is a historic day. As I'm standing here in front of Rideau Cottage, the Prime Minister's residence, I'm struck by just the weather. It's a gray day. This is the day he's announcing his exit, which is actually a huge contrast to the time that he ushered in his first cabinet, if you'll recall, in 2015 when he promised sunny ways. I'm thinking also about this moment as he's about to announce his resignation. He hasn't spoken to reporters since December 16th. The bombshell announcement by Chrystia Freeland. Reporters have been trying to get some kind of clarity along with members of the Liberal Party. We are going to hear in a few short minutes from his staff, and they're going to outline exactly what's going to happen. He's expected to make a formal announcement about his resignation, and then he will take questions. We are expecting that he will limit questions, possibly 2 questions English, 2 questions French. It is quite cold out here, so it is not going to be super quick. It's not expected that it's going to be a very lengthy news conference, but we are hoping to get some answers. Omar, specifically, we'd like to ask him whether or not he felt he stayed too long. Whether or not this puts the Liberal Party in a bind to find their next leader, given the fact, as you have mentioned, that the incoming president, Donald Trump, will be, his inauguration is on January 20th, and that he has promised to put in place 25% tariffs, and this is a threat that a functioning government needs to deal with. And as you mentioned, perhaps he will say that he is. That's why he is not stepping down immediately, and he wants to stay on until at least March 24th, because he wants to deal with this, because he has said, and his team has said in the past, that the Liberal Party, this Liberal government, was best positioned to deal with the Trump administration because they had success in the past in negotiating with the Trump administration team and pushing back against protectionist policies, Omar.
Judy, you know, one of the big questions now is whether this page flip is going to help the fortunes of the Liberals. You know, if you talk to any analysts, they will tell you that the brand, the Trudeau brand, has been inextricably tied to the brand of the Liberal Party. And in fact, this was a concerted effort to make this happen. But given now that the Conservatives have a double-digit lead when compared to
there's nothing the Liberals can do. There's nothing the Liberals can do.
By changing the leader, will the fortunes of the party change as well, or at least in time for the next election?
There's nothing they can do.
Well, let's go to what the polls have been telling us. For 2 years now, the Liberals have been trailing the Conservatives by double digits. In the past year, it's grown to about 20 points from 10 points 2 years ago. The latest Angus Reid poll released last week said that only 13% of Canadians polled supported the Prime Minister, but that there would be possibly a boost of to 21% if, for example, Chrystia Freeland were to become the new leader. That is still not enough to overtake the Conservative lead, but it does give them some boost. But it is also interesting when you ask this question about why he's staying on. Perhaps there is no clear choice to be interim leader. We know that he appointed Dominic LeBlanc to be the interim finance minister, but we also know that that Dominic LeBlanc is also rumored to have leadership aspirations. So who will take this place? So the question then also is, has the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau given enough time for the Liberal leadership candidates to effectively compete so that they can choose the best leader in time to deal with the Trump presidency?
It's going to be Freeland,
questions.
or Mark Carney's going to run in by-elections.
Race take? Will it be protracted? And exactly when will we see a next person at the helm of the Liberal Party? Judy Trinh standing by for the Prime Minister's announcement, which will be happening now in
my money's on Freeland.
Just about 4 minutes' time. The Prime Minister expected to announce his resignation, but as Judy just pointed, will stay on as the leader until a new one is chosen. Again, we have a live shot right there that we are tracking closely, and we will bring you that announcement as soon as it happens. You can see, in fact, that there appear to be sound checks that are taking place right now outside.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Rideau Cottage, which of course is a familiar sight for many Canadians. During the pandemic, the Prime Minister had a daily press conference there, and so
historic lows, Glenn. Historic lows.
His future in just a few minutes' time. Let's bring in our pollster, Nick Nanos, right now, who is standing by. Let's pick up a little bit on what Judy was talking about, and that is the person who takes over. Nick, you've had some polling on the main contenders and who's the most popular, and what are you seeing there?
Actually, what's interesting, Omar, is that we just finished our CTV poll last night asking about which leaders Canadians thought were the most appealing when it comes to the Liberal leadership. And I don't want to scoop myself, but it is CTV after all. What we've seen is a big jump in the appeal of Chrystia Freeland. And she's actually overtaken Mark Carney. But it's still a Freeland-Carney race right now when it comes to who Canadians think would be the most appealing.
It's going to be Freeland that runs.
It's still going to be difficult for whoever the next leader is. And we also have to remember, this is just who Canadians see as appealing. That doesn't speak to the importance of caucus or Liberal Party members and who they might want to see as the leader of the next leader of the Liberal Party of Canada.
And even if there is, a new person who takes over, we were talking to Vashi about this a couple of minutes ago, or Judy rather. How much difference do you think it's actually going to make for the Liberals in the next election? Because as we were talking about, Justin Trudeau's brand has been so linked to the brand of the Liberal Party.
Well, it's probably going to improve because it can't really get any worse. But Think of it this way, Omar. It's like
over,
Liberals
folks.
being
It's finally
10 feet
over.
Underwater, and then having a new leader and being 8 feet underwater. The reality is that they're still politically drowning. And, the Liberals have tried policies. They've tried to attack Pierre Poilievre to change the trend line. The only thing left for the Liberals to get back in the game is to change their leader, and it looks like that's where they are today.
It might be too soon to talk about legacy on a day like today, but you consider the career of a man who took over as leader of the party back in 2013 and then came through with a sweeping majority 2 years later in 2015. When Canadians take a look back and reflect on the political legacy of Justin Trudeau, what do you think will be the headline there?
Well, Canadians are usually a little more kind over time, but, regardless of whether you like or dislike Justin Trudeau, you have to realize that he managed to navigate Canada through the first Trump presidency. He managed to get Canada through the pandemic, and he also advanced a number of very progressive policies. But more importantly, he managed to step down before he was booted out. So, he's not finishing a loser, and he has won and formed 3 governments, which is not any uneasy.
No, he's
feat.
for
So
sure
on those
finishing
fronts,
loser.
That'll probably be the keystones of his legacy. And you know what? Regardless of what the next phase is for him, he'll be able to look at those things and at least point to them as successes from his perspective.
All right, Nick, I know you're standing by. We, of course, are waiting for the Prime Minister to speak in about 45 seconds' time. Let's bring in Chief Political Correspondent Vassy Kapelos now again. Let's talk a little bit about that question of legacy, Vassy. When people look back and look at the political career of Justin Trudeau, what will they think of, what will be top of mind?
Well, it's hard to, I guess, determine that right now because what is synonymous with him and his brand at the moment is sort of the plight of the Liberal Party at the moment and the degree to which they stand to lose an election should
All right,
one
folks,
happen
here it goes.
in the near future. I think
We're
can't
minutes
talk about
away.
his
We're
legacy
seconds
without
away.
talking about 2015 and the degree to which, as Nick has pointed out on multiple instances, he brought the party back from the ashes. But it's also difficult right now not to say 10 years later they are basically right back there again if an election were to be held tomorrow. So I think it will be a mixed legacy. I think from a policy perspective, there'll be a million things we can talk about, everything from childcare to dental care to an agreement with the NDP. The list will be long to climate change. And certainly I think that's the way they're going to want to position his legacy. But what sort of his own brand and some of the sort of waiting game over the last number of weeks and months has done to the party's overall brand and their prospects in the next election, well, that will be
Historic
hard to
lows,
unpack
Glenn.
from his legacy as well. So
We're seconds away,
I think
folks.
we're set to hear some pretty brief comments. I'm looking here at some indications from our producer, and Judy had mentioned this. 2 questions in French, 2 questions in English. That's not a lot. It's very little, particularly against the backdrop of complete silence from the Prime Minister since Chrystia Freeland stepped down 3 weeks ago. It is fascinating, jaw-dropping to a certain degree that the Deputy Prime Minister quit, the Finance Minister quit, sent the government into turmoil at a time when we are being threatened by a de facto recession by the incoming President of the United States. And for 3 weeks, we have heard nothing from the Prime Minister until today when he makes this announcement. Just a few questions in French, a few questions in English. So I'll be paying close attention, Omar, to the degree to which he does address a lot of the things that we've been talking about, his reasons for leaving, but also what happens next. I'm already getting texts, just to give you some context, from MPs who had been calling for him to step aside, who are saying to me they are totally against the idea of caucus just anointing a leader, that they are pushing very hard and will be as of tomorrow. Today is his day, they keep telling me, but tomorrow they're going to be talking very fruitfully about, pushing for a more open process. I think the last thing a lot of these MPs who have lived through the past few months of publicly coming out and saying they want him to step aside, the last thing they want is an even more opaque process to replace him. And so I think there's going to be a little bit of a battle, maybe a lot of one coming forward on that issue. So I bet reporters will be asking him about his intention to stay on and what that means for a leadership race or anointment or whatever it ends up being.
Yeah, process a big question, timeline another. Based on the texts that you're reading so far, Vassy,
all right, we're going to switch over to just the live feed of what's going on so that we don't miss a single thing. Here we go, folks. We're just going to watch the door here, and we're going to anticipate what's about to happen. My prediction is that the only way out of this is if they put Freeland in power. Freeland has to be the one to run. That's the only way out of this. I think my wife's watching my video. I can hear it. I can hear it somewhere in my fifth wheel. Freeland has to run, and she has to say that she was bullied by Justin Trudeau, and he's not a feminist. He doesn't like women. They have to throw Trudeau under the bus. That's the only way the Liberals can save face and get a little bit more in polling. It's the only way. Trudeau has to say she was bullied by Justin Trudeau. That's why she resigned before she was fired, and Trudeau intimidated everybody. And that has to be what Freeland says in order for the public, the people that actually support the Liberals, to gain trust in the Liberal Party. Now, am I giving the Liberals points? Yeah, I mean, I suppose, but the Liberal Party is doomed. The Liberal Party is doomed. And it's actually scary with Mark Carney coming in. So, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. I was talking to a very good friend of mine. Somebody who's got conservative values, somebody that I trust. And I'm talking to him. He's like, hey, Jasper, did you hear? And I was like, what did I hear? He's like, did you hear that that good guy might be running for prime minister? And I said, what do you mean good guy? You mean Pierre? He's like, no, the other guy. He worked as a governor. He was a good, trustworthy guy. He always spoke the truth. The Bank of Canada guy. And I said, what? You mean Mark Carney? And I pulled up a photo, and he's like, yeah, that guy. And I was like, wait, you actually like this guy? And he said, yeah, that guy's good, right? He speaks the truth. And I was like, whoa, man, what the heck are you talking about? And so this is a good friend of mine who has conservative values. He didn't know the bad things about Mark Carney yet. So this is the danger of Mark Carney running, is he's very vanilla for a lot of people. And a lot of people that don't maybe watch like social media posts or YouTube posts or whatever it is, people that just watch mainstream media, like normies, right? They actually like Mark Carney. And if Mark Carney runs, he could poach a lot of voters. But so could Chrystia Freeland, right? So could Chrystia Freeland, because remember Justin Trudeau and the Liberals, they literally said the other week, it's a disappointment that America failed to vote in a female president twice. Remember they said that? So maybe they try to do the whole woman thing and they put Freeland as a runner. But I think it's going to be between Freeland and Mark Carney. But if I had to put it on something or someone, it would be on Freeland. She checks more of the boxes. She's been an MP. She has already a big name, not just within Liberals, but within Canada. Freeland, majority of people know who that is. Chrystia Freeland. It carries a lot of weight, good and bad, right? For a lot of people. It is a video. It is playing, folks. We're just waiting. We're waiting for him to talk. We're waiting for him to walk out of that door. Just like during the blip, waiting for the announcement. Are we putting masks on today? Are we taking masks off? What's going on? Flashback. Little flashback, huh? This is exciting, though. It's exciting. But at the same time, it's a bit of a double-edged sword because he got the approval to prorogue until, is it March 24th? So they're not going to go sit in the House of Commons, House of Canada. There's not going to be any parliamentary debates in January, right? We're just going to be pretty much like what we've been experiencing for the past 3 weeks during the Christmas break, the Christmas holidays, is just press conferences and social media posts. But we're not going to have anything going on in Parliament. That's not good, folks. That's not good. We need an election. We don't need prorogation. It's not good at all. But here it is nonetheless. This is the day we've all been waiting for. Hope it doesn't bite us in the ass. You know, did we go too hard on them? Did we break them? Did we break the system by too much F Trudeau? What if Freeland and Carney actually poll a little bit better? You know what I'm saying? Just gonna have to wait and see, but the whole country's watching. The whole country. I woke up for this. I hope I don't wake up my kids. 7:54 now. I'm in my fifth wheel with my family. I'm on Starlink. How's the feed, guys? Is it okay? Is it lagging? Is the audio good? Is the video good? Are we good? Is Starlink working? Elon Musk? Elon Musk? Am I on the right satellite here? It's all good. It's all good. People are saying it's good. All right, sweet. I gotta be a little quiet though, man. My kids are sleeping. Kids are sleeping. If I wake them up, I'm screwed. And I can hear my son already tossing around. Oh no. You know the rule, right? Parents, whoever wakes them up has to put them back to bed. Ay, ay, ay. This is my worst nightmare. You know me. If you've been on my live streams before, I'm just screaming. I'm always screaming, and this is it. This is the crown. This is the crown live stream. Trudeau's resignation, and I can't scream. I've been castrated. Oh my God. I'm cut off at the knees. Can't scream on my own live stream. Holy smokes. Come on, buddy. Walk out that door. Face the country. One last time. One last time. My wife just texted me from the other side of the fifth wheel. I got some wiggle room for screaming. I got some wiggle room. There's a little bit of wiggle room for me screaming, so I might scream a little bit. I won't, but I could. This is Justin Trudeau's final goodbye, folks. How do we do this? I don't even have coffee, let alone champagne or a beer. It's 8 a.m. Oh my goodness. This is Justin Trudeau's final press conference. At least it should be. So he's going to prorogue until March. What is it? What is it, guys, in the live chat? March 26th? March 24th? March 24th. He's going to prorogue until March 24th. The Governor General gave him approval, at least, to prorogue Parliament until March 24th. All right. One heck of a way to start the week, eh? Monday. Holy smokes. I wonder what Jagmeet Singh's going to say about this. This is the thing, folks. This is what's not right. And this is... So, Pierre Poilievre is probably already starting to write a letter to the Governor General to basically say that prorogation shouldn't be allowed, but the Governor General just approved prorogation until March 24th. So it seems like it's going to happen. But in theory, what was suspected from Pierre Poilievre, if Trudeau were to bring forward the idea of prorogation, is he was going to draft a letter to the Governor General, and which states that prorogation shouldn't be allowed because everyone has no confidence in him. There's a lack of confidence in Justin Trudeau. So he shouldn't be allowed to prorogue. All right, I got coffee now. We're starting to wake up. Look at that. I got coffee. Waiting for this weasel to show up. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. You know what today's is? Today's right here. I don't know. Is it reversed? Can you see that? I did not see that coming. That's what today is. Today is that. Old Billy Boy. With the $2 super chat.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right. You heard the man. 2 minutes. And then we hear Justin Trudeau's voice for the last frickin' time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I would appreciate it if everyone right now took the time to hit the like button. Hit the freaking like button. And subscribe to the channel. Turn the post notifications on so you don't miss any updates. This is incredible. This is incredible. Who's excited? Can we get some W's in the chat maybe? I know this isn't a House of Canada live stream. Will this perform as a worthy Oscar? Says Deborah. Could be, man. Could be. Holy smokes. I can't believe it's about to happen. Look at the papers are flying off. Even the papers are leaving Trudeau. Even the papers are leaving Trudeau. The papers quit.
So I thought it might be fun for us to do this again.
Perfect.
Bon matin. Every morning I've woken up as Prime Minister. I've been inspired by the resilience, the generosity, and the determination of Canadians. It is the driving force of every single day I have the privilege of serving in this office. That is why, since 2015, I've fought for this country, for you, to strengthen and grow the middle class. Why we rallied to support each other through the pandemic, to advance reconciliation, to defend free trade on this continent, to stand strong with Ukraine and our democracy, and to fight climate change and get our economy ready for the future. We are at a critical moment in the world. Mes chers Canadiens, à chaque matin, je me suis réveillé en tant que Premier ministre, inspiré par la résilience, la générosité et la détermination qui nous caractérisent si bien en tant que Canadiens. C'est ce qui me motive à chaque jour où j'ai le privilège de servir dans ce poste. C'est pourquoi, depuis 2015, je me suis battu pour ce pays, pour vous, pour renforcer la classe moyenne. Pourquoi nous nous sommes mobilisés en tant que Canadiens pour se soutenir les uns les autres pendant la pandémie, pour faire progresser la réconciliation, pour défendre le libre-échange sur notre continent, pour notre soutien inébranlable de l'Ukraine et de la démocratie,
Shut the hell up about Ukraine.
et pour lutter contre les changements climatiques et préparer l'économie de
He
l'avenir.
can't help himself.
Nous traversons vraiment.
He's quitting and he's still shilling for Ukraine. What the hell is wrong with this man?
My friends, as you all know, I'm a fighter. Every bone in my body has always told me to fight because I care deeply about Canadians. I care deeply about this country, and I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians. And the fact is, despite best efforts to work through it, Parliament has been paralyzed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history. That's why this morning I advised the Governor-General that we need a new session of Parliament. She has granted this request, and the House will now be prorogued until March 24th.
Oh my God.
Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
Yes.
Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election. Mes chers amis, comme vous savez, je suis un fighter. Dans mon fort intérieur, je me suis toujours
Holy
battu
shit.
parce que je me soucie profondément des Canadiens. Et je serai toujours motivé parce qu'il est dans le meilleur
Put some
intérêt.
W's in the chat, would you? That's
Le
incredible.
fait est que
more
malgré
Trudeau.
tous les efforts déployés pour passer à travers, le Parlement est paralysé depuis des mois, après ce qui a été la plus longue session d'un Parlement minoritaire dans l'histoire de notre pays. C'est pourquoi ce matin, j'ai rencontré la gouverneure générale pour lui faire savoir que nous avions besoin d'une nouvelle session du Parlement. Elle a accédé à ma demande et la Chambre sera donc prorogée jusqu'au 24 mars. Pendant le temps des fêtes, j'ai également eu l'occasion de réfléchir et d'avoir de longues conversations avec ma famille quant à notre avenir. Tout au long de ma carrière, tout le succès que j'ai eu personnellement est dû à leur soutien et à leurs encouragements.
So this sounds like he's
Donc hier soir,
saying that he can't
j'ai partagé avec mes enfants la décision
handle the
que
stress of his
partage
family falling
tous
apart.
aujourd'hui.
So that's why
J'ai
he's leaving.
l'intention de démissionner de mon poste de chef du Parti libéral du Canada
His personal
et de Premier
success?
ministre une fois que le parti
His personal
aura
success is
choisi
only because
son
of the
prochain
support from his
chef
family, but
à
then his
l'issue
wife
d'un
left.
processus
His family
national
fell apart.
rigoureux et compétitif. Hier soir, j'ai demandé au président du parti de commencer les étapes nécessaires. Le pays mérite un choix clair et réel lors des prochaines élections. Il est devenu évident pour moi que si je dois me concentrer sur des batailles internes, je ne peux pas être la meilleure option lors de ces élections. Le Parti libéral du Canada est une institution importante dans l'histoire de notre grand pays et de notre démocratie. Un nouveau premier ministre et chef du parti portera les valeurs et les idées du Parti libéral dans la prochaine élection. J'ai hâte d'observer le déroulement de ce processus dans les mois à venir. Nous avons été élus pour la 3e fois en 2021 pour renforcer l'économie après la pandémie et faire progresser les intérêts du Canada dans un monde complexe. Et c'est exactement ce que je vais continuer à faire, ce que nous allons continuer à faire pour les Canadiens. The Liberal Party of Canada is an important institution in the history of our great country and democracy. A new Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party will carry its values and ideals into that next election. I'm excited to see the process unfold in the months ahead. We were elected for the third time in 2021 to strengthen the economy post-pandemic and advance Canada's interests in a complicated world. And that is exactly the job that I and we will continue to do for Canadians. Merci beaucoup, mes amis.
Two
Thank you, Prime
questions.
Minister. We'll now go to questions, starting with Laurence Martin, Radio-Canada.
Bonjour, Monsieur Trudeau. Vous vouliez le faire, ce combat contre Pierre Poilievre. Des batailles internes, il y en a dans votre parti depuis plusieurs mois déjà. Pourquoi est-ce que vous décidez d'abdiquer maintenant? Qu'est-ce qui vous a fait changer d'avis?
Comme vous savez, je ne suis pas quelqu'un qui recule facilement devant un combat, surtout un combat si important pour le parti et pour le pays. Mais je fais ce job parce que l'intérêt des Canadiens et le bien-être de notre pays, de notre démocratie, me tient à cœur. Et c'est devenu clair que je ne peux pas être le chef dans les prochaines élections à cause des batailles internes.
Ensuite,
As you all know, I am a fighter, and I am not someone who backs away from a fight, particularly when a fight is as important as this one is. But I have always been driven by my love for Canada, by my desire to serve Canadians, and by what is in the best interests of Canadians. And Canadians deserve a real choice in the next election. And it has become obvious to me with the internal battles that I cannot be the one to carry the Liberal standard into the next election.
Internal battles.
Vous êtes au pouvoir
There you go.
depuis près de
'Cause his
10 ans.
marriage fell
Le
apart.
Canada a changé avec votre gouvernement. S'il y a une réalisation que vous pourriez nommer, dont vous êtes le plus fier, je sais qu'il y en a plusieurs, mais s'il y en a une, et peut-être un regret aussi.
En 2015, on a été élu sur une promesse de travailler pour la classe moyenne dans ce pays. Et c'est ce qu'on a pu faire. On a réduit la pauvreté, on a aidé énormément les familles, on a créé une économie qui fonctionne pour bien plus de monde en se préparant pour un avenir et plus numérique et où les changements climatiques vont avoir un plus grand impact. On a fait énormément de travail avec les Canadiens. Le Canada est meilleur à cause du travail que nous avons tous fait au cours des dernières années. Un regret, je continue à penser que si notre système électoral aurait été changé pour que les gens puissent mettre un premier, un deuxième, un troisième choix sur le bulletin, les partis auraient passé plus de temps à regarder les points qu'ils avaient en commun pour être les deuxième ou troisième choix des voteurs plutôt que de voir la polarisation que nous avions. Mais je ne pouvais pas de façon unilatérale changer notre mode de scrutin dans ce pays.
next question.
We got elected in 2015 to fight for the middle class, and that's exactly what we've done over the past years. We reduced their taxes, we increased the benefits to families, we made sure the economy was focused on working for everyone and not just a few, and that has changed. That has dropped poverty rates in Canada, that has brought more people into the workforce, that has moved us forward on reconciliation in a way that has deeply improved the opportunities and success of Canadians despite the incredibly difficult times the world is going through right now. There's lots more work to be done, and I know that this party and this country and Canadians will keep doing it. If I have one regret, particularly as we approach this election, well, there are probably many regrets that I will think of, but
Yeah, I bet.
I do wish that we'd been able to change the way we elect our governments in this country so that people could simply choose a second choice or a third choice on the same ballot, so that parties would spend more time trying to be people's second or third choices, and people would have been looking for things they have in common instead of trying to polarize and divide Canadians against each other. I think in this time, figuring out how to pull together and find common ground remains something that is really important for democracies. But I could not change unilaterally, without support of other parties, our electoral system. That wouldn't have been responsible.
Prochaine question.
Tonda McCharles, Toronto Star. Prime Minister, up until 3 weeks ago, you were intending to stay, and it seems that the event 3 weeks ago of Ms. Freeland coming out and saying you were firing her as your finance minister was the catalyst that brought us here today. So can you explain your side of what happened there?
Chrystia has been by my side for close to 10 years now. She has been an incredible political partner through just about everything we have done as a government and as a party over the past decade. I had really hoped that she would agree to continue as my Deputy Prime Minister and take on one of the most important files that not just this government but this country is facing, but she chose otherwise. In regards to what actually happened, I am not someone who's in the habit of sharing private conversations. Chrystia,
Damn, we all want to know what the hell happened.
10 ans maintenant, à mes côtés, en tant que partenaire politique essentiel à presque tout ce qu'on a réussi en tant que gouvernement, en tant que parti.
He's keeping it professional about her. She's going to throw him under the bus whenever she gets a chance.
Continuer en tant que ma vice-première ministre et qu'elle prenne un des dossiers les plus importants auxquels les Canadiens et notre gouvernement va faire face dans les mois à venir, d'ici les prochaines élections. Mais elle n'a pas voulu. Mais par rapport aux détails, je ne suis pas quelqu'un qui partage les détails de conversations privées.
You spoke about the Liberal Party as an institution and the internal battles right now, but I'm wondering if you feel that another leader will have more success than you will at beating Pierre Poilievre in the next campaign.
Pierre Poilievre's vision for this country is not the right one for Canadians. Stopping the fight against climate change doesn't make sense. Backing off on the values and strength in diversity that Canada has always worked to pull itself together on is not the right path for the country. Attacking journalists, the CBC institutions, that's not what Canadians need in this moment. We need an ambitious, optimistic view of the future, and Pierre Poilievre is not offering that. And I look forward to the fight as progressives across this country stand up for the kind of vision for a better country that Canadians have always carried, despite the tremendous pressures around the world to think smaller, to veer towards the hard right, and to be less ambitious for what we can be and do as a country when the world really needs Canada.
That's not an answer.
Here's not
Yes or no? Is there another leader that could beat him?
Absolutely.
Okay, he thinks someone else can beat him. He thinks someone else can beat him.
Pierre Poilievre a une vision profondément petite et erronée pour ce pays, si même on accepte qu'il ait une vision, de reculer sur les droits fondamentaux, d'arrêter la défense, la lutte contre les changements climatiques, de ne pas investir dans une économie plus verte, plus inclusive, de toujours chercher des divisions entre les Canadiens plutôt que de rassembler pour faire face à l'avenir de façon optimiste et ambitieuse, c'est pas le bon choix pour les Canadiens. Et j'ai hâte de continuer de faire partie d'un mouvement progressiste qui va envisager un avenir meilleur pour les Canadiens sur l'optimisme et le travail que les Canadiens ont toujours fait pour bâtir un monde meilleur.
Next question.
Hélène Buzetti, les corps d'information. Bonjour, M. Trudeau. Il y a 16 ans, en décembre 2008, Stephen Harper a prorogé le Parlement pour s'éviter un vote de confiance qu'il savait qu'il allait perdre parce que les 3 partis d'opposition allaient voter contre lui. Exactement comme la situation dans laquelle vous vous trouvez aujourd'hui. À l'époque, le chef libéral, Stéphane Dion, avait dit, puis je le cite ici, que c'était une entrave à la Constitution et un affront à la démocratie. Alors, j'aimerais savoir pourquoi ce qui était mauvais pour les conservateurs de Stephen Harper devrait être bon pour les libéraux de Justin Trudeau.
La gouverneure générale, en 2008, avait correctement conclu que la Chambre venait juste d'accorder leur confiance de façon formelle au gouvernement de M. Harper, malgré même une lettre signée qui était un document politique. La voix de la Chambre compte. Or, avant d'arrêter le travail à la Chambre pour les fêtes, on a gagné 3 votes de non-confiance, 3 votes de confiance, et nous allons devoir retester la confiance de la Chambre dès le mois de mars pour passer les éléments budgétaires nécessaires pour faire fonctionner le gouvernement. In 2008, the Governor General correctly concluded that because the very last times in the previous weeks that the confidence of the House had been tested, it had passed that confidence test. Stephen Harper continued to have the confidence of the House. And it actually would bear out because as soon as they came back from the prorogation, Stephen Harper won a confidence vote once again. So a political document or political speeches doesn't carry the kind of weight that winning a confidence vote means. But this prorogation will take us only into March, and there will be confidence votes in March. In the passing of supply that will allow Parliament to weigh in on confidence in a way that is entirely in keeping with all the principles of democracy and the workings of our strong institutions.
Mais avec respect, M. Trudeau, y a-t-il pas quelque chose un peu antidémocratique de suspendre la possibilité du Parlement d'exprimer sa non-confiance le temps que le parti se cherche un sauveur? Est-ce qu'il ne devrait pas plutôt juste se référer aux électeurs et de déclencher dès maintenant une élection?
Hélène, je pense que tu as très clairement vu, comme tout le monde dans la galerie de presse parlementaire, à quel point le Parlement ne fonctionne plus depuis plusieurs mois. On est pogné dans une question de privilège. Il y a des motions d'obstruction constantes et on a pu très peu accomplir pendant les derniers mois au Parlement. Le Parlement a besoin d'un reset, a besoin de se calmer un peu les pompons pour se remettre au travail pour les Canadiens et pas à faire de la petite politique constante, ce qu'on est en train de voir des conservateurs. Donc, ce reset a 2 éléments. Une prorogation pour que, justement, on recommence avec une fraîche approche au Parlement. Et deuxièmement, oui, le Parti libéral va entamer un leadership parce que je m'attends à ce que si c'est pas moi qui va mener le parti dans les prochaines élections. La polarisation qu'on voit actuellement au Parlement devrait aussi se calmer un petit peu. Les Canadiens ont besoin d'un Parlement qui fonctionne, particulièrement dans ce moment complexe. Et ces deux éléments vont représenter le reset nécessaire pour le Parlement.
En anglais, mais si vous pouvez dire pourquoi pas une élection, vous l'avez pas dit.
The parliamentary press gallery and anyone who's been watching politics closely over the past months will know that Parliament has been entirely seized by
conservatives.
Obstruction and filibustering.
Give me a break.
And a total lack of productivity over the past few months. We are right now the longest serving minority government in history, and it's time for a reset. It's time for the temperature to come down, for the people to have a fresh start in Parliament, to be able to navigate through these complex times, both domestically and internationally. And the reset that we have is actually two parts. One is the prorogation, but the other part is recognizing that removing me from the equation as the leader who will fight the next election for the Liberal Party should also decrease the level of polarization that we're seeing right now in the House and in Canadian politics, and allow people to actually focus on serving Canadians in this House and with their work the way Canadians deserve.
On va prendre une dernière question.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Stephanie Taylor with the National Post. Given, as you just said, there's going to be confidence votes in March, opposition parties have said they are prepared to bring down your government. What kind of chances do you think you are leaving to your successor, given that there will only be mere weeks for them to introduce themselves to Canadians before heading into an election, potentially?
I have a tremendous amount of confidence in both Canadians and in parliamentarians' interest in serving Canadians in the right way. We're in a minority government right now, and there hasn't been an active leadership in a minority government in more than 50 years in this country. And there is always going to be the challenge of having a leadership race while a parliament would face confidence votes in the course of delivering supply to the government. So this is something that we're going to navigate through, but I truly feel that removing the contention around my own continued leadership is an opportunity to bring the temperature down, have a government that will focus on the complex issues that are coming forward in the coming months, while the party gets to have a full national process that brings in people from right across the country and makes a determination about the best person to carry the progressive Liberal standard into the next election.
Can you clarify whether ministers who would like to campaign for your job will have to step out of cabinet? And how can the Liberal government be in a position to protect Canadian businesses and Canadians from the threat of tariffs from incoming President Donald Trump when members of the government are going to be focused on who's going to be taking your job?
The government will still, and the cabinet will still be very much focused on doing the job that Canadians elected us to do in 2021, which is fight for their interests, stand up for their well-being, and make sure that they are good and that Canadians are protected and strong. There will be a leadership process, and the rules will unfold over the coming weeks. But I can assure you that the tools and the need to stand up for Canadians, to protect Canadians in their interests and continue to fight for the economy is something that everyone in this government will be singularly focused on. Je peux souligner que, évidemment, les règles et les conditions du leadership du Parti libéral vont être discutées dans les semaines à venir. Mais le gouvernement qui a
I don't know, this whole
été
thing is pretty greasy.
pour protéger les Canadiens et leurs intérêts dans un monde très complexe. Qui
His exact words were actually he intends on resigning, so he didn't actually resign.
Avec un focus et une emphase singulière sur ce qui est dans les intérêts des Canadiens, pendant que le parti fait ce dont il a besoin pour avoir un processus de leadership.
Merci beaucoup. C'est ce qui conclut la conférence de presse d'aujourd'hui.
Merci tout le monde. Merci d'être ici dans une belle journée d'Ottawa. Bonne journée.
And there you have it, Justin Trudeau.
If you were going to resign, why didn't you do it earlier? That was the last little heckle. So that's it, folks. So Justin Trudeau intends on resigning. That's the exact wording that he used. He didn't actually resign. He intends on resigning. And he will when they find a new leader for the party. So very, very unique wording in that. I think a lot of Canadians are pissed off with him. I think everyone wants him out. I think we all won an election. But again, remember I made a video last night or late yesterday, saying you need to be prepared for the real possibility that Justin Trudeau prorogues government and we don't see any action for a few months and then they find somebody to replace him. You need to be prepared for that reality. And here it is. So now we're faced with a new reality. What are we faced with? Well, the Liberals are going up in the polls. No matter what, the Liberals will be going up. So that's not good. That's not good. Who is going to lead? It's going to come down to probably a few different options. It's going to be potentially Dominic LeBlanc, but that's the least likely option. Potentially Mark Carney, that's the second runner-up. I think it's going to be Chrystia Freeland. Chrystia Freeland has been waiting for this moment. That's why Justin Trudeau didn't want to say anything bad about her. And now it's going to be pretty interesting seeing her run for prime minister when she was fired as finance minister. So how competent can she actually be as prime minister if she couldn't even handle the job as prime minister? Now, I said this before the stream, but for those that missed it, the only way Chrystia Freeland can successfully pull off running for prime minister is if she full on throws Justin Trudeau under the bus. And I'm not saying enough for her to win, but enough for her to get some good polling, right? Get some really good polling. This is not that good. It's good that Trudeau's gone, but it's not that good for the polls because the Liberal polls are going up. All these stickers, well, this one's still active because it's Chrystia Freeland, but all the wacko stickers, all the I did not see that coming, all the F Trudeau stickers, all of that, all the F Trudeau rhetoric, everything no longer matters. Effective immediately. Poof. It's nostalgic. It's funny. It doesn't have any weight anymore. That's the bad thing about what just happened. Now, you might be thinking, well, sticker doesn't mean anything. How could that be bad? The country hates Trudeau. Trudeau is the prime minister. He's no longer that option. Who do we hate? The Liberal Party? Okay, sure. But it's supposed to be the leader that we hate, not just the party. It holds more weight when it's the leader. So this is good that Trudeau is gone or, intends on being gone. But it's bad because the Liberals are going to be going up in the polls. So the only way that Chrystia Freeland can actually successfully pull this off is if she throws Justin Trudeau under the bus. She's going to have to come out and say that Justin Trudeau bullied her, that Justin Trudeau isn't nice to women, that Justin Trudeau forcibly fired her, and he's going to have to throw her under. She's going to have to throw him under the bus 100%. That's the only way that Chrystia Freeland can actually come out of this and gain back any form of support by Liberal supporters. It's good and it's bad because we all want the election, but the Liberals just got a big bump in the polls. So we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Trudeau intends on resigning. He's proroguing government. So we're going to have to wait and see what this looks like. But it doesn't look like there's question period that's going to be happening later in January unless Pierre Poilievre is able to somehow reverse the prorogation by contacting the Governor General and saying, hey, man, Canada's on the brink of an election. Stop postponing it. And this is the whole, Trudeau says that he stands for democracy. This is the most anti-democratic thing that we've seen in a very long time. The country, you and me, are ready for an election. You and me are ready for an election. It's being blocked by MPs. Members of Parliament are ready for an election. The Bloc Québécois is ready. The NDP is ready. The Conservatives are ready. So if there was a vote of non-confidence, it would successfully go through. But Justin Trudeau was blocking that with prorogation because of a little internal liberal hiccup. That's not fair to hold the country hostage because they can't figure out who's best suited to run as Liberal Party leader. That's not okay. Figure your shit out. Figure your shit out. That's like stopping a race. You go to do an Olympic 400-meter race. Ready, set, go. Pew, the gun goes off. Everyone's running. Someone's shoelace is untied. Okay, everybody, stop. Stop. Hold on. Let me tie my shoes. Okay, let me tie my shoes. Okay, ready, set, go. Right? That's exactly what just happened. This is insane. He's blocking everything right now because he's stepping down and somebody's going to replace. That's not our problem. Call an election. But hey, we're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out, folks. But it is 8:30 in the morning, and we've been doing this for an hour, and the sun's coming up, and I'm in an RV, and I'm camping with my family. So I'm going to go and enjoy what little bit of sunrise there is right now. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I look forward to seeing you guys later on in some videos. It's going to be a phenomenal day. And then it's going to slow down for a little bit. So make sure you stay close to your phones and your devices because you're not going to want to miss any future updates as this kind of unravels itself. Peace and love, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support, people. I seen some super chats. Some super chats. All right. Let's see. Scripture Shores with the 99 cents. Jay Wells with $13.99. Keep it up, sunshine. Thank you, Jay. Jordan English with the 2. You've ruined your party. Yeah, he has ruined the party. He absolutely has. Does prorogue mean online harms bill is scrapped? It means that nothing is happening until March 24th at the earliest. Ronan Gaiman with the 2. Thank you. Steph with the 1. Matt the electrician with 279. Please don't let the door hit you on the way out. Oh, please let the door hit you on the way out. Hey, there you go. Please let the door hit you on the way out. That's funny. I said, please don't let the door. Oh, my God. Leo with the 5 US. Stay safe and strong. My neighbors of the north make Canada great again. Yeah. We're a little bit closer. Thank God this corrupt tax inventing money, wasting more, and is stepping down. Here comes the Pierre H. from Tristan. Thank you. The $6.99. Steffi with 2. Chat is on fire. Chat was on fire. Absolutely. Take a long walk in the snow. Says Earth Tones. Jordan with the 2 saying, I'm late. What's happening? Joking. Happy days. Sunny ways. VB with the 5. Thanks for the coverage, which I watched instead of the mainstream media. Hey, thanks, VB. Harry Chan with the 5 with the ha birdie sticker. Tanner Chase with the 5. Drama teacher's putting on his best performance today. Cry Me a River. I know. He blamed his family. So he actually blamed his family. You may have noticed, you may have not, but he full blown blamed his family. He said that he's been able to be prime minister because his family has been able there or been there to support him. But we all know his wife and him, the marriage is no longer. So that means that the support is no longer what it used to be. And so that's why he said he's fighting a lot of internal battles. And that's why he told his kids yesterday that he's going to be resigning because he doesn't have his family anymore. He doesn't have that drive, that mentality anymore. So he's a changed person, right? Privately, he's a changed person. And so it took a toll on him, I guess, and can't do it anymore. But yeah, he's stepping down because his marriage fell apart or his family maybe this will bring them back together. Who knows? Maybe this will bring them back together. Maybe he'll just camp out in Tofino or something like that. Jocelyn with the 2, he makes me sick. Lots of people feeling that way, Jocelyn. Let's see. Matthias with the 10 saying, see ya. See ya, that's exactly right. Freak, I can't believe that's like probably the final press conference from Trudeau. Jack saying, with the 10, Jack saying, you're a hero, Jasper. Thanks for keeping me informed. For the past year and a half, I've been watching. Thanks for keeping many others informed as well. Wish you and your family the best. W. Thanks, Jack. That's awesome. This is where it started, by the way. For those that don't remember, all the Freedom Convoy videos, this is where it was. This is right where it was. This is where it started. For those that don't remember. Mike with the 10 saying, let's go. Deborah with the 6.99 saying, will this perform a worthy Oscar? I don't know if it was worthy, but it was definitely a drama teaching performance. Damon with the 10 saying, thanks, Jasper, for covering this. Much love from Ontario. Billy Boy with the 2 saying he's having one more gobble on a knob on his way. What the fuck? I probably should have read that one in my head before I read it out loud. Set is playing Fortis, saying Trump says you're fired. It was predictable. We all knew it was time. We're sick and tired of the lies. To the tune of Green Day, says Canadian guy. Irie with the 5 saying, can you explain prorogue for us? I don't understand. Yeah, Irie. Prorogue means that Justin Trudeau takes the key that opens all the doors to Parliament. He closes all the doors, he locks it, and he throws away the key until March 24th. That's proroguing. No government business. Nothing happens. They all go back. So you know the Christmas break, the Christmas holidays, or the summer break, you know how they take these big breaks? That's what proroguing is. So there's nothing. Can they on their own go into Parliament? Possibly, maybe, but there's nothing there. Like everyone goes home. It ends the session until March 24th, which is identical to the Christmas holidays or the summer break, right? So there's just nothing. Takes the key, locks the doors, throws it away till March 24th. That's what proroguing is. So Pierre's going to be making videos. Pierre's going to be doing press conferences because we are in an election year. This does, suck because we all wanted an election to happen, right now, yesterday. But we are still in an election year. So Pierre and the Conservatives are going to be getting a bit of a head start on the campaigning. Because it doesn't really matter who's running. Pierre's got all the right points. He just goes, screw the Liberals. The Liberals did this. The Liberals did that. Right? And so Pierre's got a big head start on campaigning. Whereas the Liberals don't even have a leader right now. Technically. Steffi, welcome to the membership for 2 months. Thank you for that. Peppermint, welcome to the membership. Big Gus, saying Freeland is a Nazi. Did not see that going. Mike, saying JT, you a hoser. A different Mike saying na 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 na. Hey, hey, goodbye. I should add some auto-tune. That was pretty good. I could probably go on America's Got Talent. Canada's Got Talent. That was a good singing voice. Canadian guy with the 5. Thank you for that. And DJ with the 2 saying this is the best birthday gift ever. Happy birthday, DJ. That is awesome. Look at that. Fire His Love with the 20 saying, by making Canadians wait, the Liberals will be more unpopular than Trudeau. The smartest choice would be for Trudeau to call an election so we can get some of the heat off the grease fire from him. I agree and disagree. I think that Justin Trudeau, I think that who is it here? I think that Freeland is going to be better than Justin Trudeau in terms of polling. I think that Freeland has a lot more of the woke checkboxes than Trudeau. She's a woman. The Liberals did just say that that it was unfortunate that America voted down 2 presidential candidates female. And so now Canada has our turn basically at voting in a female prime minister. So I think that they're going to get a bump in the polls. They're going to go up. I don't think that they're going to go down because, again, folks, everything about Canada's identity right now, whether you like this or not, Canada's identity, and clip this, feel free to use this next thing I'm about to say however you want. Up until 1 hour ago, Canada's identity has been F Trudeau. F Trudeau. Trudeau's a wacko. Trudeau's got to go. Piss off Trudeau. Fuck Trudeau. That's been Canada's identity up until 1 hour ago. Okay, whether you like that or not, everybody knows F Trudeau. This hour has 22 minutes. Even gave a flag to Trudeau that almost seemed like that. And it said, good luck, Trudeau, but it resembled the F Trudeau flag. Everybody knows Canada's identity right now, socially, politically, right? Pop culturally, has been F Trudeau. That poof, just disappeared. That just disappeared. So not only is our prime minister intending on resigning, but Canada's identity now is reshaping. So all of that F Trudeau momentum, it's gone. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. Now, does that still hold weight to the F the Liberals? Absolutely, of course. Of course, I don't like the Liberal Party. A bunch of idiots. That doesn't change anything. Except the fact that now all of that anger, that momentum towards Trudeau has dissipated, and you've lost 85% of that momentum. So this is where it becomes extremely dangerous. I'm just being objectively ultra realistic right now. This is where it becomes extremely dangerous for the Conservatives, is that the Liberals now get to reinvent themselves. In an election year, there's not a lot of time, but again, they're given that opportunity, and that's where it's very dangerous. So I think that this is only going to bump the Liberals in the polls. They're going to go up. They're going to go up. Okay, where did I leave off here? Let's see. Brishesh with the new membership. You gifted 5 members, and I don't know how to say your name. Brishesh with the 5 gifted members. That's the best pronunciation I'm going to get. Jasmine Lane with the 5. Hi, Jasmine. Jasmine has a great channel, by the way. You guys should go and check out Jasmine Lane. She's awesome. Michael McCall with the 5 saying GG's with the super sticker. And Big Bonnie 66 with the membership. Thank you. The Maple Leaf Forever saying let's go. God bless Canada and everyone in it. Absolutely. Can anyone tell me if he can rescind his resignation? Says Jordy. Yes. Yes, he can. Yes, he can, Jordy. That's the scary part. So that's why I said the wording of this is so dangerous, because he said he intends on resigning. He intends on resigning. He intends. Not he resigns today. He intends on resigning when they have found a new leader for the Liberal Party. That's extremely scary, folks. That's not good. But yes, I think that he can rescind his resignation. But I don't know how good of a look that would be, right? I don't know how good of a look that would be. But technically, theoretically, he can. Nick saying, I spent quite a bit of time in Canada last year. Did the Canadian train from Toronto to Vancouver. You deserve so much better than Trudeau. F Trudeau. Yeah, we do. We're about to get Pierre. We're about to get Pierre this year. And then Jasmine Lane, again, with the 5, saying, thanks for your excellent commentary on this topic. Thank you, Jasmine. Appreciate that. Guys, that's where we're going to end it. Guys and gals. Guys and gals. That's where we're going to end it. I'm going to go have some breakfast with my family, and I'm going to try and enjoy my day. And I'm going to try and think of more angles as to how this could possibly screw over Canadians, because Justin Trudeau is a pro at doing that. Even on his resignation speech, he didn't even say he resigns. He says he intends on resigning. What a squirmy little shit. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go enjoy your time. Go enjoy the rest of your Monday. The stock market is going up. The Canadian dollar is rebalancing to the American dollar. This is good news. It's good news. Don't let what I said say that this is bad news. The Liberals are going to get a bump in the polls. That's okay. There's a lot of wiggle room. Conservatives are still very much likely going to win a majority government. This is good news. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Go spend time with family, friends. Go to work. Just know that Trudeau is no mo. Bye, everybody. Peace and love. I'll see you guys in the next one.